TobeyG and JD Show.
Toby, how's it going?
Once again, it was stormy again. I got nervous. It gave me hurricane chills from the last time. But speaking of which, Puerto Rico is almost like the last Andrew that we had down in southern Florida, and it's really a disaster. I mean, I was looking at this, I figured, we could talk about it for a couple of seconds, but that island is so devastated that there was 3,000 trucks that the United States had shipped in, containers, which were put on wheels and so forth, 3,000 of them, and they can't find drivers to drive them, and they can't get through the streets properly with all of this merchandise because the cell towers are down.
Do they have any trucks that can haul those?
Yeah.
Did the military bring in any of their trucks?
There's trucks. They can't find the drivers. They know where to go.
Well, then why don't the military do
it? They're there now.
Yeah, because I remember hearing on the fake news the mayor talking about, where's the Army, where's the Marines, where's the Coast Guard, where's all these people that are supposed to be coming in, and then you turn around and hear the governor talk about how awesome the United States and our president's done, and FEMA.
Well, let's put it this way. Puerto Rico is not a state. And the governor of Puerto Rico is handling the coordination in Puerto Rico. So everything he's been asking for, and he talks to Trump daily, he claims that the United States has been giving him everything he wants and more.
Well, that's good. We should be helping them out. They may not be a state, but and we know that financially they're bankrupt, so they don't really have the money to do this. It's going to be how do you get the power companies over there to put the power back up? How do you get, where do they put the debris? It's an island. It's not like the United States where you've got, places to put stuff, even though it's still a lot of stuff because they're still cleaning up around here. It's logistically a difficult situation. There's no doubt about it.
I see in the immediate thing, they're probably going to have to use their residents to pile it up, and our Army, a National Guard, along with them, is probably going to have to dispose of it on barges and get it out of there, bring it somewhere. But I'm not an expert, and I can't answer that.
I don't either. And I know that our military has got trucks and vehicles that can get through that stuff. I mean, if they got to have a tank run in front of it and plow through the crap, then that's what they need to do, whatever it takes. I mean, I know they got a way to do it. They just need to get the stuff over there. And
well, it's following their governor's lead. That's what it is. The stuff's there.
What do you think about Cuba? I mean, the sonic attack on our people over there, and I mean that's pretty wild. And then of course Cuba says, "Hey, we didn't do it. We don't know who did it." Pretty wild.
Yeah, I know, because the Castro has said to the United States, help us out to figure out what happened. We don't know what happened, which I think is bullshit.
Well, somebody knows.
Somebody knows.
Yeah.
Absolutely, somebody knows.
No doubt about that.
I think it was Kaepernick. But
maybe it was.
He used to blame. He used to blame for everything. But which he is. But that being said, you're right. I mean, Cuba. That's look. Great place to drop all that debris. Cuba.
Well, I think Cuba's got their own debris, but that's a good point.
Yeah. But
I think that there's a lot of things going on. I mean, we haven't heard much about Houston. I guess the waters went down. Florida, the Keys are still
devastated.
It's going to be months or years before they're all back up.
I was talking to a friend of mine, Susan. Matter of fact, she has a company down the street here. Her father does, and she has a house on the water, right next to the water in Marathon, and she had tears in her eyes telling me that all that's left is a shell. And I says, it's better than nobody got hurt and died.
That's something that I heard was that Key West, the final key down there, didn't get as much damage as the other keys up front, so like Marathon and all that.
Yeah.
So I guess the damage was up further because of the way the storm came in.
Yeah.
But they said 25% of all the buildings were destroyed, that's a lot of buildings.
I got an email, and I get them all the time from the Pier House, which I've stayed at. It's right at the end of Duval street. That way you can do the Duval crawl. You know what the Duval crawl is?
No, I don't.
Duval crawl is you start at one end of...
Is it one bar to the next?
One bar to the next. And you go all the way down to the southernmost point and you come back. But I don't think you can come back because you're drinking to it. I can't drink that much because of the Duval crawl. I mean, you get stuck in Captain Tony's or all those other ones. I mean, you're not leaving. But Key West is one of my favorite places to go.
You know, I've lived here my whole life, born and raised in Florida, never been to Key West.
Oh, yeah, really?
Never been down
there.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I thought about taking the boat. You go down to Fort Myers and catch the skip.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. One of these days I'm going to take and do it. It's on my bucket list.
It's on your bucket list. Well, it's one of my favorite places to go because it brings back to the old days. And but at the same time, I mean, it's not modern. Everything is new. I mean, it's not modern being you get all these fancy buildings and stuff. It's old Florida. It's fun. That's
maybe a little more modern now when they rebuild.
Well, yeah, I don't know if they did any damage to the Hemingway's house. And
Well, I think it did.
Yeah, did it?
Yeah, I think so. Right. I think they said there was some damage there, but. So what else is going on?
There's always something going on, JD. Anything in the tech world? I mean,
there's a lot of new viruses out there, as there always is. They come up first. I've got clients questioning me all the time about what's the best antivirus software. Folks, let me tell you something. The big boys get hacked. Us little guys don't stand a chance. It really doesn't matter what you use. You've got to pay attention to what's happening with your computer. If you see it slowing down, if you see something pop up that you didn't install on your desktop or that you didn't want installed on your desktop, you need to either be proactive or get a hold of someone like myself who can log into your machine and take care of it for you. Computersdoneright.com, go to where it says Get Remote Support, click on that, install that program, and then put your name, phone number, email address in there, and have me, log in, and I can take care of it. There's a fee involved, of course. It's $60 an hour online, $125 an hour if I come to your house, and flat rate if I do it here.
You got to pay the plane ticket if it's in California.
Well, if it's in California, I can still come to your house, but that's $125 an hour from the time I leave the office until I get there. So it all works out.
That'd be
there and back.
That'd be a big bill, but
But we can go to California if we need to. I just need 2 seats, so I'm a little bigger than the average bear. But the big thing is to make sure that you've got backup in your, you're doing a local backup with an external drive, thumb drive, whatever you want to use, and also the cloud. Everybody calls and says, okay, which one of the clouds should I use? It doesn't matter to me which one you use, just as long as you use one. I've put Carbonite on people's computers. I've used Acronis True Image. There's all kinds out there. They all have their faults, but as long as your data is up there and you can get it back, that's the goal. I'm looking at a few others trying to figure them out, because if I can't figure them out, I know an average person can't. To me, Carbonite's probably the easiest one to do. It's $60 a year for just one computer. If you've got multiple computers, of course, they're going to add to that. I think they give you a reduced price.
So they have to go directly to Carbonite, or they can come
Well, you can come here and I can set it up. They do a 15-day trial. I'll clean your machine out and then set it up, make sure it's backed up properly, make sure it's backing up the files that are important to you. And, then when you take it home, it'll pop up and ask you to put a credit card information in, and you can do that. That way, I don't get that information because I don't want it. The only thing I want is a check from you, cash, or if I take your credit card, we do it through the machine, and that's legal and legit and happy and all that good stuff. So, I don't sell. I'm not a reseller for Carbonite. I'm not a reseller for any of them right now, because I just think that I would rather service my clients and give them good advice than to, try to make 10% or 20%. To me, it doesn't make any sense. The phone number for computers and websites done right is 941-240-2675. We are one of the sponsors here for the TobeyG and JD Show, so give us a call if you need any help. Also, for TobeyG and JD Show, if you would like to call us here, the 800 number is 844-429-3579. We have an email address. It's TobeyG and JD Show @gmail.com. And you can also like us on our fan page, which is TobeyG and JD Show. Every hour is happy hour.
Happy hour is happy hour.
Every hour is happy hour.
And we were also sponsors, myangelscloud.com. We get a lot of our Not the Mainstream News from them. And they're one of our sponsors as well. That's myangelscloud.com. Do you know, last night I saw a video on a credible news source on the internet, and I watched it. And sometimes I don't watch these little videos and stuff. And I listen, and there's a podcaster, and he had his producer go infiltrate Antifa, and this was up in Utah. And I mean, the guy was, with a wig. I mean, he looked like one of these losers that you see with Antifa. And the video was scary that he saw. I mean, he was in their office, or what they were, the organization, and he was talking, and they were encrypting everything, and they wouldn't do anything over the phone, and you had to come in and you had to see someone face to face, so they knew who they were talking to. And they were saying that they have arms, guns, and rifles, and that they're going to be using. And he had to go see someone, and he went to see him, and they gave him an ice pick where he could, in the fights, they could stab people. And then they interviewed another guy, and he was.
Hold on, I think maybe we need to, outlaw ice picks.
Well, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But then this other guy he could kill somebody.
No.
I mean, how they go and man to man. You get in a fight with somebody, you stab them, and you run away, and you get those masks on. You don't know who did it. And then this other guy they interviewed, and they had him. They had his picture, and he had a sawed-off shotgun and 2 assault rifles in his car. And so they went with this information and the video, and they offered it to the security of the University of Utah, major networks, ABC, their affiliates, everybody. They on camera, they said they weren't interested, and they walked away. They didn't want to see the video and follow up with it on the national news. And now it's on the national news. They want a tragedy to follow. They don't want the investigative news behind the scenes, because they want disruption in the United States. A lot of these news organizations and colleges created these idiots.
I still don't quite understand what Antivirus is. I'm going to have to do more research on it. So send me that information where I can look at it.
I'll send it all to you.
I'd like to look into that a little bit. I just, all those groups, whether they're the white supremacists or the Antifa or whatever, they're
garbage.
Yeah, they're all idiots, and it's a shame how they think that God put them on this earth to do what they're doing. That's not what my God is about. So I just don't understand it.
A lot of them were brainwashed in college. I mean, you've got that professor that's on leave.
Some of these people are older. They're in their 40s. They're not all 20, 30-year-olds. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've been, brainwashed a long time, and then they continue to brainwash.
Well, a lot of them are just losers, and they're being paid by different organizations, whichever they are.
They pay them good. Maybe they go get a job there or something.
They don't get a job.
Do they need tech support or anything?
Yeah, I like that they pay.
They let me drink.
Go see George Soros. He funds a lot of this stuff. But then there was this other thing. I think this was the University of Utah as well. They showed this guy walking, and he had "Make America Great Again" hat on. And this whack job woman grabbed his hat off his head, and she was screaming and yelling, calling him someone that wanted genocide in the United States, blah, blah. And they were in the office, and the guy's trying to get his hat back, and I mean, she's screaming how she hates this country and blah. And she was one of these. I mean, she's a real whack job. This made the national news. I saw. I told you I watched Tucker Carlson once in a while.
Yeah.
And he had one of these. He had the video of this featured, how she was ranting how she hates this country and hates this guy and people that voted for Trump and all this other stuff. Well, I think the people that voted for Trump in their mind, they were sick of politics as usual, and they were sick of this garbage of this woman who thinks that she can take somebody else's property regardless. He has that hat on, and that's his First Amendment right. Does she have a First Amendment right to criticize it? Of course she does. Keep your hands off me. Keep your hands off my property, or you're going to be going into a black bag with a zipper. You know, I mean, this is really out of control.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, you know, you stay out of my space, I stay out of yours.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all it's about. I don't have a problem. I see people, you know, on the side of the road protesting this and that.
Sure.
And that's our right to do that. That's what's so great about America, is that you have the right to protest whatever it is that you feel that you need to protest. But it doesn't mean you go out and kill people, run them over with a car, shoot them, stab them with ice picks. You know, that's barbaric, and they do that stuff in prison. But you know, out here, you wouldn't think that they would do that kind of stuff.
We're going to have a revolution.
Oh, yeah, it's coming. There's no doubt about it.
It's coming. It's coming, and it's going to be under this president, because they're not getting any support from the Democrats and so forth. Although,
hold on.
They did. I'm taking that back.
Okay.
They did finally come out and criticize Antifa. And what was it, Nancy Pelosi?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, I remember. She came out and criticized Antifa. But Paul Ryan, I don't think has. I mean, he just kind of skates around.
I don't know if he has or not, but I think that our president has finally realized that the Republicans, all the Republicans, aren't going to back everything he wants. So he's got to go across the aisle and find 4 or 5 more votes.
They're not going to back. They're not going to back anything he wants.
It doesn't mean it won't happen. If he gives them what they want, you know how politics works. You know, it's a give and take. You give me something, and I'll take it, and then I'll think about maybe helping you out.
Well,
and they're going to be making deals in the back room. That's what it's all about. That's why he met with Pelosi, and who was the other guy? Schumer, yeah. So, you know, to try to make a deal on DACA, and you know, then he backed out of it. But I don't know if he did or not. You know, we don't really know what happened. They're doing what they're doing.
They're saying what they're saying. You don't know.
I just think
either side said what they're saying. They said.
You know, if he can get some legislation going, you know, something passed through this group of idiots that we have in our Congress and our Senate, would be awesome. You know, he is trying this new thing now is the taxes. We'll see how that goes. And I mean, it sounds like it's going to be great for people with businesses and maybe the middle class and the lower class. I'm sure that someone's going to get hurt somewhere. If it's the upper class, I don't know.
They're already trying. The Republicans started. They're the first ones complaining about it.
Must be rich are going to hurt them.
Well, yeah, probably. I mean, it was King out of.
We won't be hurt then. We'll be all right.
Yeah, King out of New York. He's against it because of that deduction. You can't use the deduction of the state and local taxes on the federal. So who's that going to help? That's going to help the rich, and
well, I know that
and you're going to see screaming from the other side as well.
I know they were talking about if you take care of your elderly parent, giving you a deduction for that, as well as, you know, because, you know, most people have deductions for their kids, and then when their kids grow up, they're gone. They lose those deductions. Well, then pretty soon you're taking care of your elderly parent. So that would be nice if you had a deduction if you're taking care of them. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I need a drink.
Yeah, I think you do too.
But
there's a lot of things in there that we need to see how it's going to be paid for. From what everybody's saying on the fake news, it's going to cost us. It's going to raise our debt. It's going to cost us more money. But from what I understand, if this works, it's going to create more jobs. So more jobs mean more people paying taxes. More people paying taxes helps bring the debt down. I think they call that Reaganomics. But that's what we need to do. We've got to bring this down, and we got to get it. I don't know if we'll ever balance it in my lifetime. I'm 56, but I do remember it being balanced once, and in my lifetime. And it would be nice to see them get it down so that we don't have to deal with that. Have you heard anything from Kim Jong-un in a while here? I think he's. I wonder if they cut his power off or cut off his microphone or what. He hasn't been.
Well, my understanding, and I even heard it last night on, I think it was Tucker Carlson. I told you that's the only one I watched.
Right.
And that Kimmy Boy, Rocket Man.
Oh, Rocket Man, that's right.
Rocket Man can't figure out Trump, which is good because he could always figure out the other turkeys because they always gave him what he wanted and walked away. And he's getting a little nervous, and he's had his operatives were in New York for the UN and all this stuff. They can't figure him out either because he's trying to get them to figure him out, and they've been asking other people how do you figure out what Trump's going to do, and they can't figure it out. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. It is. And I also heard that China has cut out the banks and cut off any business in China that does business with North Korea no longer can do business with them.
Right.
That's what we've been waiting for. That's what Trump's been pushing China to do. And our Secretary of the State, which is Tillerson. They've been working on that, and
he's in China
great to see.
He's in China right now.
Yeah, that's great to see that China's finally coming to our side. Now, if we can get Russia to do the same thing, and South Korea, because I hear South Korea, people come down there and work. They have to kick them out, tell them they can't work there, cut their money flow down, their food supply, and bring their dumbasses to the table.
Yeah.
That's the only way to do it. You got to. We don't. Going in and going to war with this country didn't work in the 50s. It's probably not going to work now either. A lot of people are going to die, and it's not.
We've been talking about an EMP on several shows, and now yesterday there was mention of they're worried about Kim doing an EMP over South Korea. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we did an EMP on them. That, to me, that's the logical thing to shut them down.
Yeah, but I think the biggest problem with that is that, you got to let everybody else know around them so they shut everything down and protect it.
Well, they can't.
If they can't protect it, it's going to get damaged too.
But it's better than being totally obliterated by thousands and thousands of rockets, because it would take, 24 hours to flatten Seoul, South Korea?
Yeah.
They have so many rockets aimed at it. So that would be the way to stop them from flattening South Korea. And naturally, they're going to be overflowed with people and everything else coming from North Korea, and maybe even the soldiers. They might have to kill a lot of people, but it'd be better than having millions of people dead. But that's we'll see. I think something's going to happen this year.
The South Korean people, don't they have a way to get out and get protected, or get underground, or
no.
No.
Not for all that.
There's a lot of. How many million people are in Seoul?
23 million.
No, that's a big city.
It's a lot of people.
That's bigger in New York.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah. There's a lot of people there. It's South Korea, and South Korea is because it's not big. So you got 23 million in the country, and Seoul is right there, and then that's what it is. All those bombs are going to go somewhere, and it's going to flatten it. But what? Oh, okay. What's the other thing I want to talk about? Let's talk about money.
Money. Oh.
Money. If you can't touch it, you can't hold it. Just remember that.
If you don't touch it, you don't own it.
Yes. And that goes for, I believe you should go and buy gold and silver every month. Eventually the dollar is going to go away, okay? If you just read the Wall Street Journal, which I do that every morning, and you look at some credible information, various countries are getting into the Bitcoin or the cryptocurrencies and so forth. Eventually, you're going to wake up one day and the dollar is going to be no more. And it's going to happen.
Well, it'll still be a dollar. It just won't be any cash outside the, it'll all be digital.
It'll all be digital.
It'll still be, the dollar will still be worthless like it is now. So look at just for instance, and when I grew up in the 70s and 80s, you could buy a pickup truck for $10,000, and that was a lot of money. Now they've got a F-450 four-door truck that's $80,000 base price.
Right, I saw one down the street go by the Ford dealer, had big prices on it. That one was like $59,990.
Yeah, and I'm like, holy crap! You used to be able to buy a house for that. Now you can't even buy a house for that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the value of the dollar is down. There's no doubt about it. inflation and all this other stuff that takes part. And when you're planning for your future, you don't think of that, but that's why we have this show, so we can tell people what to do.
Well, I would
give them advice.
Yeah. We're not registered to do this, so we'll just tell you this is our opinion. And there's a lot of things out there. There's a couple of stocks I'm watching, and I haven't bought them yet. And one is LIT. That's it's a basket of stocks. It's an ETF for lithium. Lithium is the coming thing, which lithium batteries. Everything is made with lithium batteries today.
That's the same kind of batteries that blew up in that phone that Samsung made.
Yeah.
Well, they seem to have them better now. So.
Yeah. Lithium is the future, and the stocks are doing very well, but you need to follow the charts. And due to the hurricane, and that has put us behind quite a bit. We'll be coming back and talking more about these stocks, and I'm going to be buying stocks. When I tell you I'm going to be buying them, I just bought this stock, and I'll tell you what I paid and what I put my stop. When you buy a stock, you always put a stop on it, which if it goes back down, it would stop you out and it limits your loss. Because you're always going to lose. Out of 4 stocks, you're going to probably lose on 3 of them. And you got to let your profits run, and that's how you make money buying stocks. And that's how you follow the money. You don't listen to the Jim Cramer show and these other people. They're being paid.
Is he a sponsor?
No, and he won't be either. CNBC, Fox Business, when they talk about a particular stock, they're being paid to talk about it. Okay, and they're not, Once
it's sort of like our Senate and Congress being paid by...
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, did you see, was it in the fake news about all the behind-the-scenes trading?
Oh, yeah.
It hit the fake news?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, if you do it, you're going to go to jail.
Yeah.
Okay?
If they can do it and get away with it.
Yeah, they make hundreds of thousands of dollars, and, we really need to get this problem solved. I mean, the only way to solve this problem as far as term limits is the Convention of States, which they're putting that together now, which you get a certain amount of states together, you can change the Constitution. And they're putting that together. But it came out yesterday that Holder, Obama, Soros, and a few other people are raising money and giving it to certain organizations to stack the deck in the conventions, so that you can't change it to term limits and maybe change the Constitution as far as getting rid of the Second Amendment and making the first putting hate speech in the First Amendment, so it won't be so you can go to jail if you say the wrong thing. So that's what they're trying to do. And that was on the legitimate news.
Did you see on about the college football, they fired a bunch of coaches for they were bribing or getting players, referring players to certain agents while they were still in college, and they were getting paid to do that.
That's basketball,
agents. Right? Yeah, basketball.
Yeah. It's odd. I mean, it's like... It's everywhere. The corruption is everywhere. Corruption's everywhere. And then you have the government giving all these, subsidizing a lot of colleges, including Berkeley. And basically, we're giving them government money and they've got billions of dollars. That's got to stop.
Yep.
But JD, you may only succeed if you desire succeeding. You may only fail if you don't mind failing.
Oh.
Okay? I didn't know who this was either.
That's pretty good.
You may only succeed if you desire succeeding. You may only fail if you do not mind failing. Well, you should always mind failing, but everybody that's successful has failed a number of times. The more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate. Hey, that's pretty good.
I like that.
Oprah said that.
Yeah, Oprah. She some good stuff.
Yeah, the more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate.
She's on 60 Minutes now.
Yeah, I know, and they say she's going to run for president. Oh, my God.
Hey, we could have her and, what's the guy there for Facebook? Zuckerberg.
Oh, Jesus.
The Zuckerberg Winfrey ticket.
All progress takes place outside the comfort zone. I'm ignoring that, okay? all progress takes place outside the comfort zone. That's another. We knew you. Well, you said that on purpose, because you know you were going to.
Yeah. It's almost time to end the show here, folks. Stay tuned for our next podcast. Hope to hear from you soon. This is the TobeyG and JD Show. I'm about to sign off. I hope to see you next time.